Good day and welcome. I'm Willis Turner with Virtual Memorial Gatherings. Thank you for joining us for the virtual celebration of life gathering for Francesca Ginocchio. We'll start with Ashley Miller.
Hi, my name's Ashley. I'm going to be reading for Francesca's younger sister, May. And here we go. No beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart. That is who Aught was, an amazing heart that shined in all of our lives. She was someone you could trust, who you could laugh with, and someone you could learn from. My sister taught me to be a kind person, to think about other people and their feelings by being someone who was always there for me, someone who could understand and being considerate. She taught me how to be a strong woman and to always fight for what you believed in by the way she lived her life. She rallied for women's rights and was never apologetic and for being upspoken and for what was right. She taught me the importance of showing up for the people you love by always being there for us. At every birthday, starting with the morning, calls to every talent show, recital, family fight, sports games, graduations, and weddings. You could always count on her to be there. She taught us to be goofy, whether it was her great French cook impersonation or the great funk face while she tore up the dance floor, or just the simple jokes and funny nicknames she knew how to laugh. Ott's pretty much been the most amazing teacher long before she started it as a profession. She was my role model, and it's not fair or right to have lost her this young. It eases my heart to know she's still with us all in the laughs, the love, hikes, in the kitchen, when we're traveling, when we're tasting great or new foods. She's still guiding us through our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. And now we'll hear from John Green.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. We're happy to have you join us for this memorial for Francesca, and very happy to hear May's words told by Ashley. So thank you, Ashley. And so, like I said, thank you for joining us today. You know, today is a very sad day, but I hope in some ways that people get some joy out of this as well. Sad, of course, because of Franky's passing at an early age, but joy because we can remember and celebrate the fact that we knew her. And we all had the privilege of knowing her, and we had the joy of having Francesca in our lives. I'm very grateful that she was a part of my life. And I know that she enriched the lives of so many other people, including her life partner, Dave, her mother, her siblings, her many friends, and her students and her colleagues. Um, you know, it's hard to describe Francesca for the simple reason that she was an amazing person, and words just don't seem to do any justice. May did a very good job of describing a lot of her qualities. I can't improve on that. She was loving, she was incredibly kind and generous, and she took care of the people around her. She was also fun loving. Mimi said it well when she said she was goofy. She had a very fun side that she wasn't afraid to show at all. So she was both serious and fun, and it was amazing to be around her. And, you know, even after she found out she had cancer, she handled it with amazing grace and with a quiet, understated courage. And even after her cancer diagnosis, she lived life with an ongoing love of life and love of the people around her. Since Francesca passed away, we've had a chance to look at so many photos that we had collected over the years of her. And we had the gift from so many other people of photos that they had collected. And also her students and colleagues at her school sent a connection to a link to a bulletin board where they had yet more photos, and as well as remembrances and stories that they had added to that board. So we're grateful to everyone for what we've received from them and had a chance to review and think about. You know, the postings from her school showed a side of her that we knew was there, but we never got to see firsthand. How devoted she was to her students, how she influenced and inspired them, and how she touched everyone, so many people's lives in so many different ways. You know, ever modest, we only learned after she passed away from Hunter College that she had won an award for teaching. And now they're going to name that award after her. So when it's awarded in the future, it'll be the Francesca Ginocchio memorial award. So that was very touching as well. But that's how she was. She was very modest. She never bragged about any of her accomplishments, and she had many. The pictures, and you will have a chance, I think, to see a slideshow later in this. So we'll have the slideshow, which has some of those pictures. But the pictures show an energetic, vibrant, happy, fully alive person who lived her life to the fullest, loved her family, and loved her friends. She enjoyed travel, good food, hanging around and goofing off, and dancing. She didn't have a very long life, but she had a very rich life. And for that, we can be grateful, just as we can be grateful for the fact that we knew her and got to share our lives with her. We will miss her. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And now we'll hear from Joshua Shorten, if you'd like to unmute.
So when I first moved to the Bay Area from Oregon, Franky was one of the first people I met, and along with a lot of other girls from the Barclays crew, the pub, all that stuff. One in particular moment that I remember is being in Costa Rica with Franky and my ex at the time, and we were just kids, just having fun, and Franky just all this life coming out of Franky, just that's all it was. It was just pure life. Just this girl just loved everything, and we were at this bar in Costa Rica, and she was salsa dancing, and I was trying to salsa dance with her. And I couldn't keep up with this girl, man. I mean, Franky is just the best, and she loved everyone around her, and she took nothing for granted. And you know, I saw her as just a great human being, but behind closed doors, she was more than that. I mean, she was so smart. She was just on top of everything. And it just kind of made you look at yourself and just say, wow, like, I wish I could be like that. But she was the best. And, you know, I don't know what to say. Hearing about her passing is just so hard. It sucks. And this year, the whole 2020, I mean, this year sucks. And we lost a good one. We lost a great one of the greatest ever. And so to you, Franky, I will always drink a Racer 5. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not good at this stuff. But the night I heard about Franky's passing was a phone call from my ex. And we hadn't talked in a long time, but I was on the couch because I worked the graveyard shift at the Claremont Hotel, and Franky used to pour me Racer 5s all the time at the pub. You know, I'd come home, I'd get off work, go to the pub, all that stuff. I swear to God, that beer tasted so good. It was so strange. It was like I never tasted it before. If this is making sense to anybody, but I don't know. It was like Franky giving me a big hug. And I don't know, it sucks. I don't know. I don't know. It's a bummer. It fucking sucks, man. Anyway, Franky, you're up there. You're hopping around in heaven with your dimples and your smile, and you're just making everybody happy. So, and that makes all of us happy. So, I don't know. You're doing more up there than you did down here, and you did a lot down here. So I can only imagine what you're doing up there. So thank you. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Joshua. Let's go to Bruce Patton.
Franky was just a bundle of joy. I met her when she worked at Barclays Pub, and I just can't believe that she's gone just way too soon. She just brightened up her room, and she was good with little kids. She was good with people, just absolutely wonderful person. And to echo what Jess said, I mean, they're just not words to describe her, because she was just so good at everything and so happy about everything. Just literally living a dream. She loved to travel. She liked to eat. She liked to party with her friends, and just a wonderful person, and gone way too soon. So sad. And that's all I have. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Bruce. Thanks for joining us. Let's go to Marie Melendez.
Hi, my name is Marie Melendez, and Kela was my best friend in college. I remember Francesca from very little. She always had a smile on her face. I am with my friend in pain for her absence. I can't believe she's gone. She was always with a smile on her face. And I'm going to miss her very much.
Thank you, Marie. Thank you for joining us. Let's go to Janessa.
Thank you. Hi. I met Franky working at Barclays. I'm about 6 years younger than Franky, and I really looked up to her. She absolutely was joy and laughter. And she was also fury and conviction and trusting yourself. And she didn't take any shit. And I appreciated that about her a lot. She was an amazing friend. She was a friend you could call when you were in a bad situation. She showed up for the people she cared about. She was an amazing swimmer. As well as dancer, and she was a traveler and a student of many languages, and also a teacher of languages. And she exemplified so many things that I think are amazing qualities. So to the family of Francesca, my deepest condolences and thank you.
Thank you, Janessa. Next, we'll go to Laura.
Thank you. Yeah, I know the last name isn't easy.
I'm
Laura
sorry.
Becker. Just like Ginocchio, we always wondered, is it Fatima? Is it Francesca? I thank you so much for letting me speak on behalf of her Hunter College family. I was her professor and mentor in her master's program, where she studied to become an ESL teacher. And I got to know her very well because she participated in a study abroad trip to Costa Rica and about 5 years ago. And that group, I'm sure many of them are here now, if not all. We formed a very tight bond. And I just had a couple comments. I was thinking about, in my ESL teacher way, three letters. So those are 3 Ds. The first D is her dimples. Those dimples, I think, really should get an Oscar for dimples. And I think the dimples say so much about what a lot of you have shared, just such just a tremendous loving nature, a deep, deep smile. And the dimples are sort of Buddha-like. You know, there was a calmness, a much of a centeredness about Francesca that really was beyond her years. She was kind of an old soul. The second one is dedication. That's my second D, because one aspect I think that I wanted to bring forward today was what a tremendous scholar and academic she was. You know, we're hearing about all these different facets of her life. She was a student who pursued a master's thesis, which is not required in our program. She went after big funding and awards. She was an exceptional student. Her desire to reflect, to self-improve, really drove her. She was extremely dedicated to her craft and to her immigrant students. And of course, she herself being, you know, an international person, really empathized and brought empathy as well as great knowledge to her teaching. And I guess the third one, I want to say devastation, but I don't want to end on that note. So I'll just say we are really devoted to her memory. We, as you mentioned before, we established an award that we're going to give to an outstanding master's student, a student teacher, and that happens at graduation in January and in May. Every year going forward, her name will be there to recognize outstanding teaching. And that's our way to keep her beautiful presence, you know, really alive. So thank you so much for letting me speak. And we send our deepest condolences to her family and friends.
Thank you very much, Laura. Let's go to Mark Perrin.
My partner is Alex Soria. He was very emotional. He cannot talk about right now. Remember Francesca when she was a student at the French American School, 1997, and we met this mother, Michaela. She have a beautiful gallery on Gore Street, and we be friends very fast. And I remember Francesca's coming with Thomas, little brother, and we be friends for so many years. Remember Francesca was a beautiful smile and a good person, you know, with a lot of nice vision about life, about traveling, about, you know, be a good friend, a good student and good teacher. We're very sad to lose someone so important for the community, and we're very sad for the family. And is a loss, a big loss. All my condolences for the family.
Thank you very much, Mark. Let's go to Elizabeth Arthur.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to share, you know, I've known Franky, also one of the Barclays crew. I was one of the oldest ones amongst all the women at Barclays. Franky obviously never let me, you know, go home after work. We'd always go down and, you know, dance salsa or reggae or, you know, just go to a friend's house after work. And she always made me feel like there wasn't a age gap. I'm like almost 55 now, so that's the big age gap, and never really made me feel as though I didn't belong. She was just there for us, all of us. She was there when we were down. She was there when we were happy. Anytime we needed to talk, or, you know, she was just there. I'm just really sad that we weren't able to meet when I was back in Boston last year. We missed the connection, and something I'll regret for the rest of my life. I just wanted to say to the family that I'm heartbroken for you, but I also want to thank you so much for sharing Franky with us. You are a wonderful family, and it really shows from how much Franky talked about every single one of you. Never a day went by that you weren't mentioned. And I thank you again for sharing her. Okay, I love you all.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for your message and for joining us. We'll now go to Eric Lane.
Hi everyone. I met Francesca through her partner Dave, and I quickly realized we had a connection with our doggos. She's a dog person and I'm a dog person, and she would always watch my dog when I went out of town, and likewise I often would stay at their place a couple of times. Would stay at their place to watch over their puppies while they go to the West Coast. And I remember one particular time when Francesca, I believe she was going to school, finishing her master's program, and Dave and Francesca were living in Harlem. And I was staying at their place, taking care of the dogs. And I remember that I had come home super late from a gig, and the very next morning I had to go to a church gig, and I fell asleep on the train, and I lost Francesca's keys. And she was so sweet about it the whole time and explained to me how to find another set of the keys in the little doggy lockbox. And I made it through the rest of the week before they came back. But the whole time I was just thinking, what have I done? And she was so sweet about it the entire time. She said, no, in fact, I got a call from the MTA. My keys are down at this certain station. I'm going to go find them. Everything's going to be fine. And she ended up chasing her keys all around town. They were at one station and another. She never got to them. And the entire time, the dimples, they were there. That was a great comment. She should win an Oscar for those dimples, because that's how I'll remember her. She just, it was no issue. Every show I would see her at, we would go to shows all the time, and I'd see her there and I'd say, I'm so sorry. I can't believe this. I know you're the last key to your bike was on there. And she was just completely with poise and grace, just saying, that's no issue. It's not a problem. It's totally fine. And I know I made her life a living hell for a couple of weeks at least. And she was totally cool about it, totally sweet. And, I had several experiences with her before that, but at that point, I knew that was a woman who could really handle any kind of difficult issue that rose. And the way she just batted her dimples at me with it and made me feel okay about that was really, really sweet, even though I know what I put her through to have to go and find those keys. And I'll always remember her for that, and for the like-minded appreciation for dogs.
Thank you, Eric. Let's go to Gloria.
I'm Girly Salon Fiore. I've been Michaela's friend since we were 5 years old, all the way in Cebu in the Philippines. And I met Francesca, or Ching as we knew her, when she was 3 years old, when her mom brought her to Manila. And we had a very nice bonding with her at the pool. And I remember her very clearly, my siblings, at how ebullient her smile was, her dimples were, and she was just a very cheery child. And as the years went on, we knew Ching, as I would love to call her that, because that's how I know her, through her mom, through her stories of how Ching was growing up. And I met her in and out when I would be in the West Coast visiting. And I remember one time we were at the train station and she was just there coolly reading a book in French, like it was so normal. And as she grew up to be a wonderful human being that she is, I just want to thank this world for having her in this very short time. Kayla, John, Meme, Tomas, and Res, I hug you from 10,000 miles away. And I wish I can do that. Erase all this digital, virtual, and give you the warmth of the hug that I know she would want to give you. The hugs of her dancing, of her cooking, of her smiles. When I heard the news, I was here in Manila and I didn't care. I had to wake up Kayla. I had to just say, what happened? Is it true? It's not fake news. What happened? So that's what friends are for. We reach out any time of day. So Kale, John, Meme, Andres, Tomas, we're here for you, our family. is condoling with you the whole time. My mom's devastated. We're all devastated. So rest in peace, Ching. Show us all your dimples in all the smiles of people that we meet. And thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Gloria, for reaching out across the miles. Let's go now to Lizette Beyer.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for such beautiful shares, and thank you, Gloria, for opening up the floodgates. Let's see if I can say a few words without falling apart. I met Franky, or Francesca. I get used to hearing Franky, but really in my heart, she's Francesca. She was about 3, I guess, sitting in a car seat in the back of a car with a whistle. I didn't know her well. You know, I got glimpses of her throughout the arc of her life. And everybody's right. She had such a beautiful smile, beautiful dimples, the light coming out of her, which is incredible. She did quite a bit of dog sitting and house sitting for us. I remember she babysat for my daughter Alyssa and May once, at least once. What strikes me most about Francesca was the purity of light, the purity of love coming out of her, just gushing out of her. She was such a nurturing individual. And that's something that's not necessarily God-given. That comes from being raised in a nurturing environment. So I appreciated that from Francesca. I've appreciated that from her upbringing. And I appreciate that she shared so much of that with everybody whose lives she touched. Thank you.
Thank you, Lizette. Let's go to Donna Cortez.
That I've known Kayla, my friend, for over 40 years. And I know what a profound change this has made in Kayla and her family's life. And I knew Kayla and Francesca when she was a teeny weeny baby. And I was lucky enough for my family and I to go to Thanksgiving dinner. And Francesca was there, and she was so sweet and admirable and kind and made us feel so welcome. And I just wanted to lend support to the family and let you know I'm here for you. And I know, Kayla, you're so proud of the profound inspiration that Francesca was to all that knew her. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. And now we'll go to Blake Cole.
I am Blake. I am David's sister. David, I'm like nervous. David and Francesca were the most magnificent partners in life. And I was lucky enough to consider her family. And as awful as this entire series of events has been, a huge blessing has been to have both my brother and Francesca here on the West Coast, and being able to spend and see them so much more regularly, because truly witnessing my brother and Francesca together is one of life's greatest gifts. And knowing how fiercely she loved my brother, and knowing how incredible and steadfast my brother's love for her was, is something that not everybody gets to experience or even get to witness. And there's a million things I could say about Francesca that have greatly impacted my life and will forever continue to inspire me in my life. But I am endlessly grateful to have been witness to their love, and to have been to have had a place in her life, and for her to have a place in mine. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Blake. Jesh if you have something brief that you would like to share, we have time for you.
Yeah, I just have a fun story about me and Frankie and the Barclays girls. Y'all love this. So I just moved from Oregon down to the Bay Area, and I go to my first Oakland A's game. And my first time ever at a Major League Baseball game, all that stuff. Super fun, super excited. We're drinking beers. You know, Frankie's smile is just illuminating the place. And a foul ball comes right up to where we're sitting, basically. And I try and catch it with my hat. And Frankie spills her beer on my seat, and I fall backwards, sit in the seat. So now I got mud butt. All the beer that Frankie spilled is in my shorts, basically. And it's on live TV. People are sending us footage of me, Frankie, and Rita, and Samantha, and I think Jancy was there. Maybe Jancy was there. I don't know. And everyone's laughing at us like, oh my God. And I just knew it was just, Frankie just had the biggest arms in the world that just gave you the hug of just you're loved. You know, she just gave you nothing but love. And that's a rare thing in people these days. And I don't know, it just sucks that she's gone. And I don't know, trying to match that love is, man, that's a task in itself. But I hope people know that, you know, she was just here to just spread love. That's all she did. And what a smart, intelligent woman she was. And yeah, I don't know, but that was a fun time. That was a fun memory that I'll always have in my mind, is when we were at the Coliseum and she did that. And I don't know, but
thank you, Josh. Let's go now to Charney K.
I just wanted to show my face and just say some words briefly. I've been friends with Dave, one of my closest friends, for like half our lives now. And, you know, in the present tense, like Francesca sets a really high bar. And as his sister said, their love sets a really high bar. And, you know, I'll always be inspired and honor that, and be here for you, Dave. And just all my love to everyone. That's all I got.
Thank you. Thank you very much for everyone who participated. It's been very good to hear from each of you. And may the memory of Francesca be a blessing to everyone. We're now going to gather and watch a slideshow.
We were all looking up in the same direction. We were gathered together all around the world to watch the moon block the sun. And in that moment, looking up, we were one. We all got the news when the storm started raging. We left everything behind the storms come and go, the sun is shining in the heavens. We can't look around us now like we finally figured out all that divides us is delusion. And in this moment, every time it comes, we are one. Don't you wanna look into a stranger's eyes, see yourself looking back? Don't you wanna feel beneath your skin that all our differences are nothing in the face of love? Don't you wanna look into a stranger's eyes, see yourself looking back? Don't you wanna feel beneath your skin that all our differences are nothing in the face of love? In that moment, looking up, we were one. In that moment, on the run, we were one. In this moment, every time it comes, we are one.
Could you tell where my head was at when you found me? Me and you went to hell and back just to find peace. Man, I thought I had everything, I was lonely. Now you're my everything, I was lonely. I missed a lot of love with a lot of drugs, then I found you. She liked petty crime, she had green eyes like Mountain Dew. And where she go, I'll never know, her friends bounce to. I guess it's their loss, cause they'll never know what we'll amount to. And would you be my light, be my yellow? PYT walking down Portobello, put a smile on his face at the end of the day. MDMA helped us fly away. Who'd have known you would save my life? Who'd have known you would fly my kite? Could you tell, could you tell? Could you tell? Could you tell where my head was at when you found me? Me and you went to hell and back just to find peace. Man, I thought I had everything, I was lonely. Now you're my everything, I was lonely. Yeah. I remember I was all alone. Late night you would call my phone just to check if I was blessed, cause you knew I was low. Head gone rolling off the throne. I remember we was in the park. Late night made love on the grass. Got my head in the clouds counting all my stars. In my ear said the world was ours. Went to hell and back just to heal my wounds, cause it gets like that. Wrong side of the moon, no Tutankhamun. You're my Cleopatra, no side thing, don't need a backer. Need a real one, don't need an actor. A lost one's fate, think you want a BAFTA. Come and be my girl. Yeah. Could you tell where my head was at when you found me? Me and you went to hell and back just to find peace. Man, I thought I had everything, I was lonely. Now you're my everything, I was lonely. Yeah. lie. Would you be prepared? Would you be surprised? Only then would you realize. Look out, the sky is falling. She's falling for you. Look out, the sky is falling. She's falling for you. Take her hand, you are brother. Here's your chance.
Here where the sky's falling, I'm covered in blue. I'm running, then I'm crawling, fighting for you. When the rain stops, then darling, what will I do? And I know I go all in, but why do you give me a reason, something to believe in? I know, I know, I know. You give me a meaning, something I can breathe in. I know, I know, I know. It's a bittersweet feeling, longing and I'm leaving. I go, I go, I go. But I wish I was there with you. Oh, I wish I was there with you. There's a crack in my window, a bite in my room. Angels all over, they watch over you. When I'm walking on water, all my dreams have come true. Still nothing means nothing without you. You give me a reason, something to believe in. I know, I know, I know. You give me a meaning, something I can breathe in. I know, I know, I know. It's a bittersweet feeling, longing and I'm leaving. I go, I go, I go. Tell my heart to lie, but I know deep inside it's true. That I wish I was there with you. That I wish I was there with you.